Hi everyone, I'm Prarthana Hazarika, your podcaster, and today I have a very, very special guest. Well, she is special. She is from the northeastern part of India. She's already making waves for being the first woman, first fighter. I won't say woman, the first fighter from Arunachal Pradesh to be in the top. She's an MMA fighter, and she is creating ripples. She's creating a lot of headlines. And I can never think about being a woman. I can never think about going into a sport, a discipline which has, which takes a lot of your strength, your mind. So hats off to my guest today. Let me introduce you to Sonam now. Sonam, many, many congratulations for whatever you have achieved till date and for being so, so, so strong and, bringing laurels to northeastern part of India, bringing laurels to your state, Arunachal Pradesh. Sonam, how does it feel to be, the first ever woman from your state to represent in so many international meets, to represent play against and fight against the best in the business.
Hi, ma'am. First of all, thank you so much for having me. And like you said, being the first from Arunachal Pradesh and like winning all the belts and everything, it means a lot to me. I'm really happy that all my hard work has finally paid off.
And it feels very different that somebody from from Arunachal, somebody from Assam, somebody from Manipur. These women athletes are doing so well in combat contact sport. What is that one speciality that the athletes from this part of the region have that everybody is doing so well? I'm not just talking about MMA or boxing or weightlifting. I'm just talking about the kind of spirit these athletes from the northeastern part have.
Uh, yeah, like since you've said it now, I feel that most of the athletes from Northeast India, they're doing really great, but I can't say the reason behind that, but I think definitely the hard work and the need to prove something, like, is,
So,
can't say
Sonam, a lot of
that.
people, a lot of people would love to know about your journey. How did you start off, and how did you get into MMA?
Oh, ma'am, this is a really funny story. Actually, the thing is that I didn't know about MMA when I first joined MMA. I just came here to learn self defense and thought I'll lose some weight. But then then I came to know about Bidang. I came to Guwahati to study actually. But then one of my friend used to do in Bidang, so through her, I got like uh, introduced to Bidang. Then I came here, and once I know about the martial art, like how close it is to actual self defense and all, I was really interested in it. I was totally hooked up in it, and then I have been doing that ever since then. And once I joined it, I couldn't leave it. I don't know why, but the game itself is so interesting, actually.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can really make it out. You came here, you came to Guwahati to study, and then you wanted to lose weight, you wanted to learn something, martial arts for self-defense, and you ended up being the first ever, MMA fighter from your region and bringing laurel.
Okay.
So, how did your family react, when you wanted or when you told them that, I want to be an MMA fighter, I want to fight, and, I want to get into this discipline very seriously and professionally?
Okay, to be very honest, at the beginning it wasn't so easy. Like, like all our families, they're like worried about you. They're scared. My mother always tells me, you can do any sport you want. Why choose MMA? Because it's really risky. I'm not saying I'm against sport. You can do any sport you want, just not MMA. Because it is a close combat fight, right? It's a
Yeah,
full contact fight.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
there is possibility. It's like we're literally hitting each other.
Yeah.
So she's worried about that one. She's still worried, and before they weren't so supportive. Now since I'm getting a little bit fame and everything, so they are not supportive, but they're like, okay, since you won't listen to us, do it properly, be safe, be careful. That's all they say.
Tell me also about the entire, your neighborhood. You come from the Tawang district in Arunachal Pradesh. So it's a beautiful place. People go there to have a glimpse of the beauty of the place, to enjoy their vacation. And someone coming from Tawang, how did your neighbors? How did the environment? How did your college, your friends? How did they react to everything? Were they supportive? Were they, or they were not supportive? How was their reaction?
Uh, okay. So if we go back, like I fought in SFL in 2018, and now everyone is so supportive. Like you, if I go to my place, you should see all the people. They're very welcoming. They're very nice, and everyone is proud of me. Like that makes me
Right.
really happy because they're always like, "We're so proud of you. You're doing so great. Coming from a very small city and small place like Tawang, you're doing such a big thing in like in India, like on the national
Yeah.
stage. It's really proud for us. Uh, they're very supportive for now though.
Okay. What
But
was it?
back when I like first I fought in a civil in 2018, and then
Mm,
I had a very that was my first professional fight. I had
mm.
a very like serious injury, and that was the first time my parents were seeing me, in a national TV, and not just me, my parents, my whole
Oh,
neighbors,
the
my whole
whole,
village,
yeah, your
everybody was
neighbors, yes.
supportive, and they're like, okay, like they didn't know what is MMA, so it was coming for the first time. They were really worried about me, and then I went there, and it was really bad. So they were really worried about me. So I went home after like 2 3 months. So everybody was like, I think this is a very risky game. You shouldn't do it because this is we because they saw it for the first time, and they were like they saw actual injury in television, right? So they were really worried, and then many of them came and told me like they were worried about me more than that. So they told me not to do it, but I don't know what drive me. I was like, nah, I should do it. I should do it. So I was doing that, even though
So,
whatever
so
happened, I never give up.
I really want to know now, like your parents, your family, and your friends, what is that defining moment that made you feel that, I know, come what may, I will definitely pursue MMA. I'm not going to just stop despite my injury. What made you that defining moment? Any incident or anything that happened which made you feel that, no, I have to continue as a fighter?
I Actually, like I don't really. In fact, I'm confused that because I came here to study, I started it and I totally got like interested in it, and I was doing nonstop. Even I sometimes ask myself, like because it was never like I wanted to be a MMA fighter. I wanted to do something great. It was just I was in love with the training, and
Mm.
I just and good thing about me is that I am blessed with a very good teacher like Babaji sir. You know Babaji Chaudhary sir, right? So
Yes.
luckily, I'm really blessed to have him. He have guided me, whatever I am today. I think because for me it was just something I really liked. I was interested in it. I was liking the training. I was doing it, but he was the one who took me and who put me in this, ways, and who showed me ways what I can do, what I am capable of. He made me feel what I'm capable of. And that's when I felt like, I think I should pursue this. I think I should do this. Maybe I'm meant for this. Because it's all thanks to him. Because I personally I never thought I want to be a fighter or I want to do this. It was he who believed in me, and then I thought, maybe because we know Babaji sir, okay, he
Yeah.
is somebody who won't interest in like like until and unless he sees something, he won't be like, okay, this can do something. He knows people. He has been like through a lot. He know which sports person can do good, which students is going to do good, and he saw something in me. And I thought, if sir sees something in me, I'm sure I'm something good. So I kept on working. I didn't listen to anybody. I just listened to Coach Babajit said, and that got me here where I am today. All thanks to him, though.
MMA is such a demanding sport. It's a discipline that requires so much. So, how do you prepare yourself before any fight, any big fight in the cage? I would say.
Exactly. MMA is really like, it's not an easy sport to be honest, because all the sports are tough, but MMA, it requires a lot of physically it is tough, and also it's very uh mentally, emotionally, you have to give up everything. And before a fight, we have to go through a camp. Those camps are like very tough. It's not easy. And
Yes.
then like you have to be like you break down very soon. You are mentally broken, you're emotionally broken, like, and the physical part, that's always there, that's tough. But mentally and physically. So like I said, I have sir, so he guides me, and you know That's how we prepare for every camp. Like we see the opponent, we study. I just leave it to sir. He watches the opponent. He tell me what to do. He tell me what not to do. He like what to eat, what to train. I just have to follow.
So tell me something about your training day. What does a typical training day in Sonam Zomba looks like? How do you train? What time you train? When you start training, or how long you train? Typical day.
Okay, so I'm like I wake up at 5:15, 5:30, and then I reach gym at 6. And I have session in the morning from 6 to 8. It's strength and conditioning, or like sometimes strength and conditioning with normal like training and all. And at
Right.
10 a.m. I have MMA training, which is taken by Babajit sir. And at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. I have another training, 3 to 4:30, where I mostly do drilling and all. At the end of the session, I have at 7. Like since I was doing for the title belt, and my fight was late for this time, I was doing it around 10:30, 10 uh to like paddings and conditionings and all. So it's like maybe around 10 hours, not or around like 8, 10 hours a day.
Tough training procedure and it's a day for you also, just like your sport. So, Sonam, tell me, how do you mentally prepare yourself before getting into any competition, any fight? How do you prepare your mental strength, your mental health?
Like everybody, I do fear before going to the fight. Like there is always a fear before, because it's MMA, right? We never know what will
Right.
happen and what can happen. But I always tell myself I have worked really hard. Like I just have to believe in myself, because sometimes the situation is such that even you've worked hard, you're always doubting yourself. You're always like, what might happen, what might not happen. You're not feared from the opponent, but you're feared about the situation, because anything can happen. So that's always there. But I always tell myself, you have worked very hard. You have I spar with boys and everything, so your training partner are all boys. You can do it. You don't have to worry. And especially you got coach. If you do mess up, it's all right. Coach is there to back you up. He's not Whoever is fighting me is not just fighting me, is fighting me and my coach both. That's what I think. That's what I say to myself and enter.
That's how you prepare yourself. So, Sonam, tell me,
Yes.
2018, you had an injury, and people never wanted you to go back to the sport, to the cage again to fight and become a fighter again. So, but slowly and steadily, you have been a stubborn in your nature, and you didn't give it up. Somewhat may you started your rehab, and then you started to fight again. And once you started fighting, from the comeback till date, you have never lost a fight, if I'm not wrong. It's been like that. What a miracle.
Yes, ma'am. I that's so true. That that was 2000 back in 2018. That was slightly tough, because like I told you earlier, it was in the national television. Everybody was watching, so they
Yes,
were worried. They said not to do it. But a part of me, I don't know. Like I told you, I really love to train, right? So I
right.
just wanted to train. Like even if my parents saw not me, I thought, even if I don't be a fighter, I just want to train. I just want to be good at what I am doing. Be able to. Is the background music coming, ma'am?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Just
That's
just
fine.
one moment, okay? Just one moment. भैया सोचो ना गेम में करते हैं थोड़ा सा आवाज आवाज से थोड़ा बात नहीं करते 2 मिनट 5 मिनट I'm so sorry, ma'am.
Can continue.
Okay. So where were we, ma'am? Can you ask the question again? I'm so sorry.
2018, you had an injury. People around your family, your friends, your well-wishers, they didn't want you to come back with the sport again since you had the injury. But somewhere or the other, you were stubborn enough to, come back again, make a great comeback. And after your rehabilitation, you made a great comeback. And since then, you have remained unbeaten till date. How is that possible? How that happened? How did you mentally prepare yourself that there were people saying you shouldn't go back, you have injury, and maybe you pursue your education or do something else, or maybe get into some other sport, but you were there fighting your injury and made a great comeback.
Ma'am, like, in every sport, I think it's important for every people, if we believe in something, like, and if our gut feeling is telling us that we can do it, like maybe you have something in you, you shouldn't listen to other people. Like there will be close people like around you because they are worried about you.
Yes,
Often they misjudge, like often they mistreat because they are worried about you, and then they don't want you to get hurt. But that's not the situation. If you believe in yourself and if you work hard, you can actually make it. Like you can actually make it. Because for me, I have been told, like, it's like I had an injury. It was really hard for me. But I knew I love to train. I wanted to do good at whatever I was doing. I was just working. People were telling me what to do and what not to do, but I was not listening to it. I was just listening to one people, and that was my coach, Babajit sir. And he know what I could do, and he saw what I have. So I believed in him, and I just I trained, I made myself good, and then I came back in 2022 after 4 years, and ever since that, I've been maintaining that. So
absolutely.
don't listen to people. If you believe in yourself, and if you work hard. But see, there are parts which will be tough, but giving up is not the solution, and you have to actually work hard. Like it shouldn't be ki aaj kar liya kal nahi kiya. It shouldn't be like that. You have to be. It is tough. You have to be consistent, no matter how hard, no matter how tough it is, and then you will actually get the result. You cannot leave in halfway. Many people, they leave in halfway, and then they think that they've worked so hard, but they're still not getting it. Maybe God is testing you, because it took me 4 years. It took me 4 years to come back. But still, I did it. Like, even though it was tough, I didn't listen to people.
So now women MMA is rising in India. So in that case, how do you see the future of this particular sport in the country?
Uh, yes, like MMA, like it's a very growing sport, especially in India and all over the world. And like there are many fighters, like you can see Pooja Tomar, she's fighting in UFC. You can see Anshul Jubli, he's fighting in
Yes.
UFC. Uh, and there are many scopes. And I think the outsider, they do want Indian fighters, but some way or the another, we are lacking, to perform in a global stage. So for me, I want to fight, in UFC, and like make India proud. I really want to do that. That is one of my biggest dream right now. That's one of my biggest goal right now.
So for shifting to UFC to represent the country globally and to win, so how the training has to be, or how hard you have to train, and what else is required for you now? What do you feel about it?
I think the training should be I think whatever I'm doing right now, I should do that only, but in a more like better way. I gotta be sharper. I gotta be stronger. I have to be like more speed, because I have seen good fighters in India, but then we go outside and we are unable to perform it. I don't want to be like that. And and the competition outside is totally different. We cannot compare to what we have in here. The competition is literally different outside. So I think we have to like focus more on speed, like focus more on everything what we are doing, but do it in a better way.
What is your Sonam, your strength? I would ask you, and where you have to work more now. Your strength and your weakness. Like you mentioned earlier,
Uh,
that sharp. I have to be more sharp, and I have to train sharp. So, what is your strength,
I
and
I
where is your
I me
weakness?
to be honest with you, I personally think I have to work on everything. My striking, my boxing, my grappling. I think I should work on everything if I want to fight there, and I'm willing to do it as long as I get there.
And also, I would like to know that was there any fight where you entered the cage as an underdog and you came out as a victorious, a fighter? Any particular game that reminds you of that that you were treated as an underdog? अच्छा ये सोनम है, she won't be able to, take नहीं पाएंगे मेरे सामने, but you really did well and you just won the fight. Was there any such incident or a fight that you can mention
Yes,
right now?
yes, yes. That was my first MFN fight. Uh, that was my first MMA fight. I fought against Jodo Rajkumari. She was an famous. She was an superstar in MFN, and that was my first fight and in MFN, and I was the underdog. And many people thought, because I don't look so like angry and vicious and all, so many
Right.
people thought maybe I wouldn't survive. But then I came out and I did what I do best, and then everybody was like, very they were very shocked about looking at my performance. And that that first fight in MFN, that really uh shaped my career, that really shaped my future, everything, like, slowly. That fight was really important for me.
Also, the last bout, I think in 2016, it was against a Brazilian.
Yes, ma'am.
So, could you please throw some light on how the bout was and how hard it was for you to fight against an international fighter?
Uh, I had fought an international fighter before. Like before this fight, I fought an Russian, and before that, I fought with Singapore, all in MFN. And but this was my title defense. So this was not about just, because sometimes what happen is that people think that what you get through luck. So I had to prove everybody that, I deserve this, I belong this, I've worked hard for that. So this defending the title fight was really important for me, this fight. So it was with Brazilian, and the fight went well. But mid fight, I did got knocked down a bit. So I was really worried about that point. But but I could pull off. So thanks to that.
So, what is your one memorable fight till date? You feel that you were the best inside the cage and you were really, really undefeatable.
Uh, I don't remember what undefeatable, but I do remember a fight that was really important for me. That was my Shillong cage fight. It was in 2018. Okay, so before that injury, after that injury, before that
Before the
SFL one.
injury, yes.
Yeah. So what happened is that I fought with there was one opponent. I fought with Jennifer. So that fight, you know what happened in that fight? I was fighting, and that was the first time I could hear my coach. Like, so I was in a side control, and my coach was like, side control is fine, side control is fine. That's when I started hearing him, like, and I started building the trust with him. And after that fight, I could always hear what my coach was saying. I would always listen to whatever my coach was saying outside. But that before that fight, sometimes when you're fighting an amateur fight or pro fight, you cannot listen to what other people are saying, what outsiders are fighting. But on that fight, I heard his voice once, and I trusted whatever he was saying, and it was actually helpful. After that moment, I've always trusted him after that. So that fight, like, built a trust between sir and me.
The competitive chemistry that you both have, that has really helped you all. So, can you also tell me that where from do you take inspiration to keep going? Because this is such a physically exhausting sport. So, what inspires you to keep going and what motivates you?
Uh, before before it was personal for myself, because I wanted to do something great. I wanted to do something big. But now I want to do something good for India. Like, like, uh, I want to represent India in a global stage, and I want to do it in a good way. Like, I want to prove them, like, we are good. I've said this before, but I want to prove them that, like, we are not someone to underestimate. We are like, I want to do that in a global stage. So for me now, currently, it's not about my personal thing. It's about the whole my personal and whole India. I just want us to do something good in bigger stage, outside stage. That's all.
All the girls, all the young women in Arunachal and the other, the entire northeastern India, what is your message to them? Somebody who really wants to pursue MMA, somebody who wants to go and be into UFC and the other combat sport. What is your message to them? Because we have broken all barriers despite the injury, despite your family, not giving that initial signal, green signal to go ahead. You have broken up the barriers.
So I just want to tell them, uh, MMA, there is a lot of scope in MMA because, like I told you, it's one of the biggest and growing sports all over the world. And
Right.
especially for female fighters, there's more scope. There's more scope. So if you think you can and if you want to, don't be afraid to, like, go for it, because you can do it. Just believe in yourself and you will be able to do it. Don't listen to other people what they are saying. Just do what you do best and do it in a good way. Don't don't lag here and there. Work on everything. Don't cheat on whatever you are doing. Just do it, and you will definitely get result. Trust me, you will definitely get result. Just keep working hard. Just keep getting stronger. Keep getting sharper. There's a lot of scope.
Sonam, I was also wondering, since it's a mix of a lot of martial art, what exactly do you enjoy? Do you enjoy striking or do you enjoy, grappling? What is your, style of, if I may say, attacking?
Oh, I enjoy both actually. Like striking is also really good, and then grappling is also very interesting. Wrestling is also very interesting. Actually, is all the sports are really interesting, and it's a combine of everything.
Yes.
So, but I do love striking. Like like when you're able to defend and then strike back and use some techniques, and that's really nice. So I love striking more. I think.
Every game there has to be a different, a game plan. How do you plan along with your coach?
Yes. So one good thing about Bidang is that we have striking class, strength and conditioning class, grappling class. So in one day we do all, like like I told you, right? We have morning session, then 10 a.m. session, then 3 a.m. session, then evening session. So we make sure that we are working on the striking. We make sure that we're working on the grappling. We make sure we're working on conditioning and all. So we are trying to cover up everything together.
Right. And Sonam, do you have any, dream opponent with whom you want to one day fight it out in the cage? An international opponent.
Uh, for now, whoever it is, for whatever whoever opponent it is, if I get a chance in UFC, anybody works.
So, you know, um, 10 years from now, Sonam, how would you want people to remember you?
Someone who is very technical, and like someone who never gives a boring fight. I want people to enjoy my fight. I want them to get entertained. I always want that, I want to give it everything when I'm fighting so that people can enjoy. I don't want a boring fight. So whenever people know that I am fighting, they will be like, oh, nahi, iska fight acha hota hai, dekhna parega. So I want that
Very
to
well.
happen.
Mhm, mhm. So, what do you do when you're not training? How do you spend easy day out?
I don't have day out actually. Like I work in gym also as a manager and as trainer, personal trainer. So when I'm not training, I'm either eating or I'm at the gym only. I'm mostly at gym. So I don't usually go out much, because if you go out, you are compromising on the rest and everything. And if you compromise on your rest and next day you cannot perform well. So I have to be very calculative about my energy, like where I'm spending. So it may be because it may be like, I'm sleeping all day in this Sunday, like afternoon or evening, but that is important for my next session. I can't just because I'm not sleeping, I can't go out, because if you go out and roam here and there, and then if you don't take rest, next session is becomes difficult. So your body needs proper rest, proper diet. So if you want to be professional fighter, if you want to be, so you have to look on everything.
But when you say diet, do you really follow a particular diet or a nutritional value food that really helps you out?
I do that.
And Sonam, thank you so much for giving your time. I know you have been extremely busy with your training schedule and you're getting ready for the next fight. All the very best, and just hope
Thank
that
you, ma'am.
you get to fight in UFC. You get to showcase your talent. You get to inspire people across India, not just northeastern part of India. And one day, we'll definitely see you at UFC stage.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I do wish I would represent India in a bigger stage and make every Indian proud. That's my biggest dream right now. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations for your achievements and best wishes. I just hope we'll get to speak again very soon. And thank you for speaking to Breaking Barriers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Sonam, and quite an inspiring story, quite an inspiring journey of this young woman from Tawang to Guwahati. She made it to Guwahati to study in, college, and then she ended up being an MMA fighter, and now she aims to be a UFC fighter and bring laurel to the country. I hope you enjoyed this episode, my podcast, Breaking Barriers. Catch me again on the next episode, and thank you so much for giving me so much of love. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.